There's a moment early in Forestrike where you're staring down 4 enemies and your brain starts doing the math. Who do you hit first? Do you burn your dodge on the first enemy or save it for a second attack? If you get this wrong, you die. And dying means the whole run collapses. Now here's the twist. You can run the whole thing in your head first. That's Forestrike, a 2D martial arts roguelite from Skeleton Crew Studio, published by Devolver Digital. It launched in November 2025 to a 91% positive rating on Steam and a consistent 8 out of 10 across major outlets. For a $10 game, that's not modest, that's exceptional. Before every fight, you get 2 options, foresee or fight. Foresee lets you run the battle as a consequence-free mental rehearsal. As many times as you want, you figure out the enemy patterns, test your move order, and find the one clean sequence that clears the room without taking a hit. Then you fight for real with everything on the line. The process of using foresight to build muscle memory feels eerily similar to labbing out a new character in a fighting game. Forestrike isn't a brawler, it's a puzzle game wearing kung fu clothes, and the foresight mechanic is the mechanic. Everything else orbits it. In Forestrike, the margins to victory are thin, but you have every opportunity to practice how each fight will play out before you execute. With perfect practice, you can achieve perfect outcomes. The catch? Perfection is essentially the minimum requirement. Most fighting schools only have 1 or 2 defensive maneuvers per fight, meaning you're spread thin when dealing with 4 to 6 enemies simultaneously. One miscalculation in the real attempt, an enemy you didn't account for, a resource you burned too early, and the whole plan falls apart. Then you start the run over. On the surface, the combat looks simple. 2D side-scrolling, pixel art, and a handful of attack types, but the depth underneath is quietly staggering. Each enemy type only has a small moveset, but your growing knowledge of those movesets is what will carry you through. Not luck, not grinding, not randomness. Forestrike is much less random than most roguelites, much more skill-oriented. The game has 5 martial arts schools: Leaf, Cold Eye, Storm, Monkey, and Tiger, each taught by an eccentric master with their own philosophy. Leaf is defensive and evasion-focused. Storm is aggressive and high damage. Monkey is chaotic and comedic. Each school radically changes how you have to think about combat, essentially giving you a different game within the same game. The first boss alone might take you a few runs with different styles, but the earned satisfaction when everything clicks rivals anything in gaming. When a fight finally goes exactly as you planned, it genuinely feels cinematic, like you choreographed a movie scene. And here's where Forestrike earns its most fair criticism. The game's progression structure works more like Star Fox 64 than anything else. Each region has branching paths where you strategically choose between money or new abilities as you work toward the boss. It's clean and readable, but the roguelite layer underneath it is thinner than it first appears. The game's stages seem to feature a predetermined set of fights thrown out in random order, with each region only having 1 boss. The randomization of techniques and trinkets you pick up is there, but the game is extremely stingy with resources, making the stronger techniques rare. It's not uncommon to feel like you're fighting for your life throughout an entire run. Forestrike's roguelite layer is flashy on the surface, but primitive where it truly counts. If you're coming in expecting Hades-level build variety or a loot-driven power fantasy, you'll be disappointed. The game's identity is built on skill, not loadout luck. For some players, that's the whole appeal. For others, it's the wall they can't get past. Combat is presented on a 2D pixel art field, while story moments are delivered in beautiful Asian-inspired watercolor stills. The contrast is intentional. The scrappy pixel art grounds you in the fight, the cutscenes elevating everything around it. The story follows you, a Forestriker on a mission to free the Emperor from a corrupt admiral's influence. It's a classic wuxia setup, but the storytelling has a graceful economy to it. Special care is placed in what the game explains outright and what it chooses to hide or gate behind progress. The 5 masters each carry real personality and backstory that deepens with every run. The weakest point, per community consensus, is this: the story is being pulled in 2 different directions, one that supports a central theme and one that supports the gameplay loop, and it doesn't always thread that needle perfectly. Forestrike is not for everyone. It will make you feel stupid before it makes you feel brilliant. Just one mistake can make it pretty much impossible to win some fights, and sometimes foresight is taken away entirely, forcing you into battle without practice. But for the right player, Forestrike does an incredible job providing an incentive, like any good master would, for players to continually grow if they put the necessary time and effort in. At $9.99, with a free demo available right now on Steam, there's almost no reason not to try it. It's a steal at twice the price. If you've ever wanted a game that treats you like you're smart enough to figure it out, where the victory belongs entirely to you, Forestrike is waiting.